Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is your favorite bearded man, the one, the only Bobbbaaaay. We're here on this lovely Saturday, cooking up in the studio. We got some fan questions. We're pumped. We're excited to answer them. Don't forget, you guys can always submit them. Send me a DM, email, whatever the case might be. Submit your question. I'm looking to pump these out on a daily basis. So send them through, ladies and gentlemen. Send them through. Today's question is coming from my man, Sergio Lopez. Shout out to you, Sergio. He's based out of San Diego, I believe. Could be wrong, but I think San Diego is what your Instagram bio said. And he asked, what drives you? What's your why? Great question, Sergio. What drives me? I just want to be, and I preach this a lot through a lot of the content that I've been putting out, and I talk about it a lot in recent podcasts, but I just want to become the best version of myself. I want to push myself to become somebody that I never thought I had the ability to become, to reach my greatest potential, to just be happy in every aspect of my life, relationship-wise, mental health-wise, physical health, business or career-wise, family-wise. I just want to be the greatest for myself. Not sometimes I think that could be taken as kind of cocky or like an ego, like, oh, you want to be the greatest in the world, you're trying to be the best. But no, I think that's kind of what drives me. It's just something about pushing myself to take this stuff and take myself to another level that I never thought I could reach. It's that unknown, what's on the opposite side of the door that a lot of people don't know. We don't really ever know where we are headed. We kind of just have to go based on our gut and see if things feel right in this very moment, then continue to push forward. And if they don't, then you kind of have to take a step back and readjust. But what's driving me right now is seeing people like you submit a question to me, like going out of your way to DM me or to submit the question. The fact that you even care to ask to hear my answer to me is mind-blowing, because it wasn't long ago when I started all this content creating that nobody really cared to hear my opinion, why should they? They didn't know who the bearded man was. They didn't know the world's favorite bearded man, the world's favorite Uber driver. They didn't know anything about me. And it blows my mind that even somebody like you, Sergio, or somebody out there that listens to this content is even interested in learning more or wants to even take time out of their day to hear what I have to say. So that's what drives me. It's seeing feedback from people, seeing people post it and spreading the awareness and letting me know why they actually value the content and how it's helped them. And that's the stuff that really keeps me going. And that's like the fuel to the fire, like impact. I think that is ultimately my purpose, is to impact as many lives as possible for the right reasons. I definitely think the core of it is always going to be kind of like this inspiration / showing people that anything in this world is possible, coming from where I came from, as in, going the college route, supposed to go into the business world, and then completely going the opposite direction and going to this whole entertainment world, podcasting, vlog, Instagram story content guy. It doesn't make any sense. The swing that I took doesn't make any sense. So if I can show people that even if you aren't on the right path and you have an idea to go somewhere else, you can do it. You got to do it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no, oh man, it's going to be a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but that to me is what drives me. And it kind of answers the why of what is your why, right? I think that's a big, bold question for a lot of people. And my why still has never changed. Kind of going back to what I was just saying. The reason I started this podcast was a way to figure out my passion. Graduated from college, didn't know what to do next, was supposed to go corporate, didn't want to do that. Started a podcast, talking to young, passionate people, no idea where it was going to take me. That's why I started it. And that still is kind of the driving factor of my why. I want to be an example of somebody that had an idea for something and executed it. It doesn't matter what you're interested in or what you think you want to do. It's, if I can execute it, so can you. It doesn't have to be podcasting. It doesn't have to be YouTube. It could be literally anything in this world. And so much of what I'm putting out right now for Purpose in the Youth is still that same why. Trying to build out not only just a podcast platform, but a media like a media platform, whether it's podcasts, vlogs, behind the scenes, whether it's blogs, whether it's even just short Instagram clips sharing other people's content. I also recently started putting a lot on the Instagram story of opportunities that I come across where I think might be of value to somebody that follows the content. And I had somebody DM me there was an artist, his name's Futuristic, and he had posted like, oh, looking for a photographer. If anybody wants to, shoot a show, hit me up. I took that same post that he had and I posted to the Instagram story, and I've been posting a lot of these opportunities, not knowing if anybody even cares or if this is even going to be worth anybody's time to even see. Do they care to see it? Do they just want Purpose in the Youth content? I don't know. And then I got a DM from somebody saying, hey, thanks for posting about that opportunity. I'm actually shooting one of his shows on his next tour. And that was like a little bit like, oh, wow, okay, people are actually paying attention. There is more than just this podcast platform. Right now it says a podcast. If you look at the description, a podcast focused on unfolding the stories of passionate people. That's the core, but I also think I need to readjust that because now it's a media platform showcasing young, passionate people willing to take the jump, willing to take a risk, and also one that's providing, hopefully, direction as to opportunities. I'm still the why, right? Like, I'm still creating what I wish I had when I graduated college. I was looking for that platform that had young, passionate people that were doing passionate things so I could just listen or hear or see why they were doing what they're doing and understand maybe how they got to that point. And that still is the factor of why I do most of this content, is I want to provide to that person. Still, I remember that kid at 22 graduating college, not having a clue as to what to do next. I still am creating for that kid. Nothing has changed about me. I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot has changed. A lot has changed about me in the last 2 years, but I still can feel and remember where I was 2 years ago. And that is still a huge driving factor around the content that I make. It's kind of like I don't know how to describe it, but it's actually, if the 22-year-old version of me knew who I was today, he would be extremely happy and grateful for how much he's developed and what he's doing now. Like, I'm doing things that I never not that I never thought, well, yeah, I never thought I would do half these things, but I didn't really realize that I had the potential to do this stuff, to surround myself and to network and to build relationships with some incredibly passionate people. That was the dream. That was the reason I was starting it, was to find the passion and hopefully one day get to network and build with really amazingly talented people. But I never thought that I was ever going to get to that point. And so, to summarize all this up, Sergio, and for the people that are listening or watching, the driving factor for me is always going to be pushing myself to become the best version of myself. Okay? I have a lot of flaws. I have a lot of things I need to work on. My vocabulary, terrible. Grammar, terrible. I was never the smartest bulb in the bunch, but I was always willing to work hard. And that's one thing that I've realized. It's not about who has what or how smart you are. It's about who wants it the most. The ones that want it the most are always going to find a way to get through it. They're going to be the ones, they're going to stay up late, they're going to get up on those early mornings, and they're going to continue to put one step forward in front of the other while the other person is kind of lounging, relaxing. With time, that person will pass them and continue to go. And so I think the work ethic is what is my drive, right? Like pushing myself to become the greatest version of myself, knowing that understanding my flaws, knowing my weaknesses, trying to get better at those, and trying to just bet all of trying to go all in on what I think I'm great at, which is people. And I hope that the connection that I can create through content is going to motivate people, is going to keep them pushing forward, is going to make them happy, entertain them, smile, laugh, I don't know, whatever they might find from the content. That's what drives me. Seeing people like you reach out to me saying, hey man, I got a question, can you answer it? Or seeing somebody comment on an Instagram post from Purpose in the Youth or my stuff. Just seeing people that are actually listening or paying attention to my content, that drives me to keep going. And ultimately just trying to build this career out and really see how far I can take this and just just keep chugging and keep pushing and keep pushing. And to summarize the why, be a good example that you can do these, you can accomplish your goals by being a good person, by being patient, by working hard, by not asking for favors, just putting all the weight on your shoulders, and by just being a good person. And that's something that just, it blows my mind when I see people that are extremely successful and yet they still carry themselves, or there's an ego to them. And I don't think they realize how many opportunities they're missing out because of the way they carry themselves or the way other people treat each other. There's just so much sometimes negativity in the way people interact. It's like, if you have nothing good to say at all, don't say anything. And if you like what somebody does, support them, show love to them. Because that, I had tweeted this out the other day, that little support that you give to somebody can actually get them to keep pushing forward. So if you support something or really enjoy something, if it takes you 3 seconds to tweet at them or DM them or whatever, do it. It'll make them feel better. It makes me feel better. It keeps me going, and I'm sure it'll help other people. And if you have nothing good to say, don't say it at all. I'm rambling at this point. I'm going to wrap it up because I could just keep going on and on. If you guys have any questions that you would like me to answer, please DM me, drop a comment on the YouTube video or whatever the case might be. Sergio, thank you for taking the time to reach out and DM me this and ask the question. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the content. You were supporting the content, I should say. And so I hope this was valuable to you. I hope this was valuable to anyone that listened. That's about it. It's your favorite bearded man, ladies and gentlemen. And make sure if you're listening on the iTunes podcast app, screenshot, post this to your Instagram story, tagging at Purpose in the Youth. Help share the word about Bobbbaaaay, the world's favorite bearded man. And if you're not watching, I'm doing some crazy dance moves, and it's absolutely horrible. I'm going to get out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite bearded man, the one, the only Bobbbaaaay. We'll catch you guys next time. See ya!